Hello, everyone. My hair is frizzy and disheveled, which means I just got off the road from a return home from Metrocon 2022. Another Metrocon in the books, another badge to hang on the wall, another year full of memories to treasure for a lifetime. Yeah. So, this was a bit of a chaos con. There's a lot of outside forces that made it that way. Um, Aside from the things I told you about in the previous Metrocon video, where we had a bunch of things going on across the street that were unsavory, let's be as cordial about it as I can, and because we had a lot of things that were going a little bit weird. There was construction at the convention hall, which meant there's a whole bunch of things moved around. Some things blocked off. The dealer's room had a whole fake walls stuck in, so it wasn't nearly as big as it normally is. We had elevators that were off limits for construction. The Riverwalk was off limits. Then we got into the hotel itself. If you stayed at the connected hotel, you got to spend the entire day. You got to spend the entire weekend at least one elevator down, which is not terribly uncommon during Metrocon, because the maintenance guys who have to come in to do that don't like to do it when the place is busy, so we have to deal with it for the whole con. But then we had another elevator that started getting wonky, and then before the end of the convention, another elevator completely went down. So we were down to two elevators, and one of them you couldn't always trust. It was a weird weekend, but hey, we made it through. We had a good time, and that is what is most important here. So let me get through events and then little story things. I'm gonna be doing the haul in a separate video because I do have quite a bit, and I want to talk about some things in particular. But for starters, we're gonna start with just events and things like that. So we had the chess match this year, which is always the highlights, the biggest event Metrocon does. And this year did something I never saw a chess match do. Think of that. I've been going to Metrocon for 15 years. This is something I never saw them do before. That says something. That says something pretty big. This year's chess match was split in two. I don't mean there's a part two next year. I mean, we had a full chess match that ended. A king was defeated. And then everything gets redone. A whole new threat comes in and takes one side of the board. All the survivors take the other side of the board. And we have a second chess match, which was a really, really cool thing to do. This year's match featured... God, so many characters to keep track of. Princess Mononoke was a big one. God, a lot from current animes I'm not familiar with, which is really a downside for me. I did like seeing Frog and Ayla from Chrono Trigger were in there. The Witcher was in there. Geralt. I think he has the highest kill count of any character in the chess match ever at this point. He got it. They had a sequence that I've never seen them do before, and I've always wanted to see them do it, where the way human combat chess match works is, you don't just say rook takes pawn, you say the rook, basically the rook challenges the pawn, and if the pawn wins, the rook's defeated. So Gerald took out somebody, and then the other side of the board said take Gerald, and Gerald wiped them out without any problem. Gerald moved on, wiped out another piece. No problem. It was a 5 or 6 fight sequence where people just kept getting chopped down by the Witcher. Really cool scene. Really cool scene. Good job, Terry. Fantastic work as always. My friend Matthew actually got a headset microphone this year because he had a more major role as Trunks. That was funny. He didn't get to play around as much as he normally does, because now we could actually hear him. But yeah, fantastic chess match this year. A lot of fun. The Masquerade was fun too. Every year, the Masquerade has a theme. The theme this year was summer camp. So there was a lot of fun characters in there. For me, the highlight is the fact that it was Ida from Owl House, which, by the way, I think half my cosplay shots this year are Owl House cosplays because I saw like 30 of them over the week, and I tried to get like every one I could. So I apologize if the highlight, that cosplay reel this year gets a little bit repetitive. But the Masquerade itself, still a great event. Love the event, love the interactivity that it provides. I love everyone else being in character in the crowd. That's the whole theme of the Masquerade, and what makes it different is that you have these dance segments in between the segments on stage, and the stage characters will come down and they'll interact with you, which is already fun, but also you're encouraged, you have to be in cosplay or you have to be dressed to the theme, and you are hopefully more like acting along with it, which makes it really fun and interactive, and like the entire environment is set. The storyline itself, there's always a romance storyline in this one, and this was Dipper from Gravity Falls and Kippo from Kippo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts. That was fun. There's always like two weird characters that kind of go together in a weird way, but it works. For me, the highlight was the fact that it was Ida versus Medusa from Soul Eater, which was weird for me for multiple reasons. Number one, her voice actress was here this year, Lucy Christian, but also, it was the first time Metrocon had somebody else playing as Medusa. The original, like the first Medusa they had was my friend Kalina, and she did an amazing job as Medusa. And then they brought her back to do Medusa. I don't think it was in a chess match, but they brought her back to do Medusa multiple times for the different shows. And this is the first year that someone else was cast as Medusa, which is weird because Kalina was on staff this year, but she was actually God, I'm blanking on it. Why am I blanking on the character name from Princess Mononoke? But she was a starring role in the chess match. San. How do I forget San? It's such a simple name. Okay, yeah. So Kalina was playing San and did a fantastic job, by the way. So I guess that is why. Because if you're doing a main role in the chess match, I wouldn't want to take on a tertiary role either, or in this case, another main role. But yeah, Masquerade was a lot of fun. I didn't get to catch the first part of it. Something ran against it that I had to catch. One of the guest panels. Hate when that happens, but that's kind of the nature of the beast. Fire Show was great this year. Fire Show was entirely Demon Slayer based, and they're doing it indoors now, especially now that the Riverwalk was closed. They had to do it indoors, but so much better indoors. There's no weather getting in the way. They can play with lighting effects at the same time. It's a really cool atmosphere. It's a really cool show. The Fire Show is always one of the most visually impressive. Matt, who was Trunks in the chess match, also did the Fire Show, which is crazy. I've said it, I think I said it last year. A lot of these performers do multiple shows, so the fact that they are all doing these multiple shows and they keep the choreography and their lines straight across all of them is really, really impressive. Like, seriously amazing. And then there's some that are also like directors and writers for other shows later on. Culver, he was a Jedi in the chess match. And it's from Fallen Order, because I have not played Fallen Order, so I blank on his name. He's a Jedi in the chess match, and then he's also the writer and the director for Metro Night Live. So he's doing all of this too. So he's also doing this crazy schedule. Like the effort everyone puts into this con, again, like I said every year, is like beyond anything that I can conceive. So the Fire Show this year had some really insane tricks. There's some really fast-paced movement. There's some things that I would think would have been risky in the past, but this time they just went for it, and it all looked really, really good. super impressive. And again, I have to compliment Matt. Matt, I meant to tell you Sunday night when I had a chance. Your whole like solo scene in that fire show was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Like visually emotional. I love that. I loved it. Metro Night Live. So I mentioned it before. Metro Night Live is their sketch comedy show. Again, put a lot of work into it. This one was hard for me because it was midnight before it got started. So the memory is a little bit foggy. It was a funny show, though. A lot of the skits they used in the past weren't around. Like they used to use a lot of bridging segments that were returning. Things like Darkest Sketch, Luigi Let's Play videos. They didn't do anything like that this year. They had in-between stuff to kind of fill gaps, but it's much better. Like it's much more original parody stuff. You know, like a Queer Eye for the Straight Guy spinoff that was all horror movie monsters, trying to give like a new look to this up and coming horror villain. That was good. That was fun. I think the real highlight of Monday Night Metro Night Live, they did a parody of The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, which is a movie where a monster is assimilating and eating people and posing as them. They replaced the monster with Kirby, which was hilarious on many levels. And it's a brilliant idea. Just brilliant conceptually. It was a great idea. Fun as always. Let's see. I got the cosplay contest this year. Tons of phenomenal cosplays there. And not just the ones in the contest. Like even on the floor, there's still tons of people who are just putting on really good shows. With either like creativity. One guy went as a Gundam, entirely made of cardboard boxes. And I don't mean like he recycled cardboard boxes to make a perfect Wing Gundam or anything. No, he's just like straight up brown cardboard boxes with Gundam written on the front. But it's also like really well cut, so there's like an actual robot shape to it. It's not just a bunch of blocks. So really cool work, really cool, fun cosplay. There's a lot like that. And then there's those people who just put on these crazy accurate costumes and walk around with these massive prop weapons. There's a Morrigan who won a best prop award at the cosplay contest, and I met up with her afterwards, and she let me hold one of her wings because she had made this whole thing where Morrigan's wings were on this like little backpack in the mid of her back, and all of it was attached with aluminum, so it was super like durable, a lot more durable than like cosplay wings tend to be. And she could just easily like pull one out to remove it and handed it to me. And this thing was featherweight, unbelievably light for how large it is. Like it was like accurate size Morrigan wing. If you've ever seen Darkstalkers, and she could flap it and she could sway them back and forth. Really impressive. Really impressive stuff. You know, and the convention is full of people like that who put so much work into it, hours, days, months, into making these immaculate costumes to walk around for one weekend, and you can tell just how much passion they have for their craft and how good they are at it. It's incredible what cosplayers can pull off. I've tried cosplaying once. I didn't make my own material. I assembled the costume from the best amalgamations that I could find. And I couldn't begin to imagine what it's like to walk around. I was nervous in that thing, let alone something that took me months to build, and it's one of a kind. Really, really cool. Really, really cool. I did get more cosplay shots than just Owl House. There's a nice big variety. Don't worry. There's plenty to see. Kaiju Big Battle. Giant Monster Pro Wrestling. How do you go wrong here? You don't go wrong here. I remember when Kaiju first showed up, and it's just kind of a filler event, and there's not a whole lot of people. I think like half of the first section was full, just like around the ring. And now Kaiju is like packed to the back of the everything. It's just packed all the way to the back of the stands. Every seat taken. Super cool to see Metrocon take to Kaiju Big Battle. Because I was a fan of Kaiju like long time ago. Way before they started coming to Metrocon. So I was thrilled to be able to see them. And now I'm thrilled I get to see them every year. And I'm thrilled that so many in Metrocon now know and appreciate it, and they come out to it. And it seems like it's going to be a recurring theme, or a recurring guest of the convention. Please keep doing it. Please keep doing it. This was the best, though. This Kaiju Big Battle took place on my birthday. There's a particular thing in Kaiju Big Battle. Last year I got super excited because one of the costumes that they broke out for Kaiju Big Battle was Faden. And if that name sounds familiar to my longtime listeners, Faden is the main character of the Glyos toy line. He was the first Glyos figure. There's probably well over 100 Fadens at this point in various different color schemes. And it's super cool to have seen the costume. This year, Faden had a match, and Faden matches are really rare in Kaiju Big Battle, so I got to see a Faden match on my birthday. You have no idea how much I was losing my freaking mind. My channel is going to have a Faden match. I love it. I love it. I cannot wait to get my footage into storage so I can watch that back. Though, like at one point, like I'm kind of losing it because I'm trying to take photos of Faden and move the camera at the same time. It's just not working. So that might be a little bit weird. But yeah, it was an incredible show. Love seeing them out here. I didn't get to as many of the guest panels as I did in previous years. There's new rules, regulations. You can't record most of the panels, mostly because there's people out there who will take the clips out of context and make the voice actors sound like they're saying things they did not mean, or that they are like applying their voice to other characters or something like that. They're misusing the recordings. And when you're a voice actor, the recording of your voice is everything. It's your entire career. It's your entire being. So if there's people out there abusing it, they have to do something to stop that. And that is the case here. I did get to record the group panels that happened on Friday and Sunday, so those will make their way to my channel. And I did get to record Caleb's panels. Caleb Hiles, once again, putting on a massive concert, which was as always, really impressive and fun. I got to do his YouTube panel, which makes me laugh because his YouTube panel, it's always been called the YouTube panel because when Metrocon first started doing the YouTube panel, it was Caleb and who else was with him? God, I can't even remember. God, you can tell how little sleep I've gotten in the last week. But yeah, he had a bunch of others with him. I know the Death Battle guys were there too. So, God, why am I blanking on that name? Whatever. Important is there was a bunch of YouTubers there that time, and now it's just him. But it's still called the YouTube. It's still called the YouTube panel, not the Caleb Hiles panel. I think a lot more people would show up for the Caleb Hiles panel than they would like the YouTube panel. Like that doesn't sound like a guest panel. Like so, I don't know if it's just him again next year. Amendment to the title You know, because you need more. Take it from a YouTuber. You need more than one YouTuber for the YouTube panel. Just a thought here. But Caleb did sit down with me. Caleb is always really cool about setting aside some of his personal time during the con to actually sit and chat with me. I can't even call it an interview because we just kind of sit and talk and catch up and like, how are your projects going? Yeah. How are yours going? Like, just two chatting. Like, but it's a very natural conversation. It's a very natural interview, if you want to call it that. So keep on the lookout. That's going to be up there. So a lot of the guests were great. Seeing Lucy Christian, because she is a legend in the voice acting industry, seeing her in person, hearing her at the panels was really, really cool. A lot of them were really fun to listen to. One of them made a gaffe, and I don't think it was actually a gaffe. It's just the way she's always pronounced a particular word. I'm not even going to say it because I don't want it even like assumed to be out of context. So like I'm only going to post that as like a full video. But it was like one of the funnier things I've heard at a panel. But if we're talking the voice acting guests, I have to talk Ricco Fajardo. He's Lemillion in My Hero Academia, among a million other things, because he's all over the place. Ricco is of my generation. We grew up with the same stuff, you know. So like we kind of relate on a very cool level. On Thursday, I'm hanging out with a liaison friend, and she gets invited out to ramen, which is like a tradition for the liaison group. But they were a couple down, so they roped Ricco in, which I don't think Ricco minds getting to go out for ramen. But with one slot open, I got the invite. So here I am. This is my birthday trip. And I'm out to ramen dinner with the liaisons and Ricco Fajardo. This is already really cool. I am actually wearing a particular shirt. I just got in a couple of like mashup kind of shirts, like one of those T-Fury type stores, and it was Chrono Trigger. It was actually Luca repairing Robo. So yeah, that was the shirt that I ended up like wearing on Thursday. It was a coin flip. It was a coin flip between that and this, what was going to be my Thursday shirt. So I happened to wear that Chrono Trigger shirt. And during dinner, he notices it and his jaw drops. It's like, I need that shirt. Chrono Trigger is his favorite video game. We both have a love for that classic Square-Soft, not Square Enix, classic Square-Soft lineup. So here I am on my birthday trip to Metrocon. The con hasn't even begun. I am out eating ramen with Ricco Fajardo, and we are geeking out together over Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI and discussing like why both of the games are so good. And like I never get to talk about those games. That already made me happy. Then, when we're finishing up, Rico's on his phone, and he's like, who wants to do an escape room? Rico's very big on escape rooms and LARP dungeons and that kind of thing. He loves that kind of stuff. So he's looking up, like, what escape rooms are in Tampa nearby. And I think before even the entire table has an answer, he's already booked the room for 10. So now I'm going to an escape room with Ricco Fajardo. This is the weirdest Thursday I've ever had at a Metrocon, and that says a lot. The bad thing about... I've never done an escape room before, but the bad thing about doing an escape room with such a huge group is that you kind of get through the puzzles a little bit too fast, and you're lucky if you contribute well to any of them. Our scenario was there's like some like there's some system failure at a hospital. This patient needs open heart surgery. You got an hour to save their life. So first we have to code our way into the room by putting little panel blocks together, and I'm really upset with myself because it was like a simple fit the shape puzzle, and I know the trick behind those, and just for whatever reason, just like the pressure of the moment just kind of made me like blank on it. So that was embarrassing because I should have nailed that puzzle. And then when we get inside, everyone's kind of picking through all the different puzzles and all the different elements that are strewn about the room. Though I did get the solution for one puzzle, so I do feel like I contributed at least. So that was my one thing. So at the very least, I helped with that. And then there was hilarity because like to actually put the heart in, there's like this like four handle pulley system. So like one person's on one side, one person's on the other, just trying to like. And it's like the patient's laid out, and there's like here's a DNA sequencer, here's a sanitizer, and you have to like take the heart to each of these stations before you put the heart in. So, I'm not the one manning these. So like it's hilarious watching this heart just like bang around this thing and just like banging off obstacles or trying to wrangle this thing into the right positions, because it's not easy. It's not easy in the least. We got it into like all three of these receptacles, and then we dropped the heart into the chest. I think we had like 19 minutes to spare. It only took us like 40 minutes to clear the room. And just as the person over the VA system, or whatever, just as the person over the speakers is saying, congratulations, and you can head out and head out to your room. We'll let you out and out. Ricco grabs both the handles and yanks the heart out of the chest, like a full like Kalima moment. It was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. So that was cool. So just like the little pockets of time I got to talk to Ricco were super cool, because like we like had a lot of mutual like geek things that we can geek out over. So that he's super cool guy. Super cool guy. If we were doing interviews still, I would absolutely want to talk to him. There's the elephant in the room that I mentioned, but we need to get to. And that is the fact that this Metrocon fell on my birthday. I've been going to Metrocon for 15 years. It's always in the summer. It's almost always June, July. I think one random one was in August because that was the only dates available during the summer. And it's never fallen on my birthday ever. Not this time. Saturday was my birthday. A lot of birthday greetings, early, on time, and belated. And I thank everybody for that. Thank you for making me feel special. Thank you, Q, for making sure that I died of embarrassment poolside on Sunday night. Not just once, but twice roped me into birthday songs. Q is the best. I love you, man. But just super cool. Because, like, they're all kind of in their own circles. Because, they're with each other every Metrocon. They talk outside the convention. And here I am. I'm 3 hours away from the nearest, like, Metro staff in Tampa. And I don't get the chance to talk and hang out with anybody. But they make me feel like one of their own. They try and go out of the way and make me feel included, which was really, really fun. I love that they want people in the family. They want me in the family, which means the world to me. I got to meet, as usual, I got to meet a few more. I had to meet a few more this year. Talked to a couple of them because Owl House came up. Yep, that's my thing right now. So, like, I literally just plunked myself down on the ground. It's like, all right, let's talk some Owl House. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Like everyone I meet on staff. Like Metrocon gets some really cool people to handle their conventions, and that's like one of the things that like I really wanted to like convey in this video, because it doesn't get enough credit. People give it credit all the time. It's still not enough credit, and that is the fact that I'm gonna preface this. Because of my position, and because I've been going as press for so long, because I know so many on staff now, and because I've been part of this circle for so long, I am privy to a few things. I'm not like going to give away trade secrets or invite any kind of trouble. No, I'm not gonna do, not like that. But I'm gonna preface the preface now. I want you to realize something. It doesn't matter how big your convention is. It doesn't matter how long they've been doing it. It doesn't matter how much money they spend. It doesn't matter how much money you spend to get in. Every single convention you have ever heard of or have gone to, every single one of them has had things go wrong. There's a problem that happened at registration. There is, the badges didn't get printed correctly or printed on time. We're low on security personnel. We're low on liaisons. One of the voice actors missed a flight, or had to book a flight like super early, and someone's got to be up at 4 a.m. to go get him at the airport. It's always something. Everyone at a con works hard to make sure that those things don't go noticed. And even if they do go noticed, even if they are in the eye of the people attending the con, that it is handled as smoothly and quietly as possible, so as to not interfere with the convention experience, or at the very least, at the most, minorly inconvenience it for very, very temporarily. So I'm telling you this right now. The measure of a good convention, the measure of a good convention is not in the attendance numbers. It's not in the celebrity guests. It's not in any of that. The quality of the convention is in how little you see going wrong. If you can go and enjoy a 3 week, I wish. You can go enjoy a 3-day convention and you don't notice a single hiccup, that just means that the staff you've been interacting with all weekend, that means they did their job to keep all of that in the background so it did not interfere with your weekend. And that is what the Metrocon staff is good at above all else, is making sure that everything seems to run smoothly even when it doesn't. Like I said, every convention has things go wrong. I have been to conventions, hello ShadowCon, where things have gone majorly wrong right in front of everybody and never recovered. I have seen schedules go completely out of whack, and never recover the entire weekend. I have seen massive distractions from what should otherwise be a fun event for everyone who paid to be there. That's not what happens at Metro. Even like in a super chaotic weekend like we just had, the lines at registration Friday and Saturday alone were absolutely frightening. Like they've gotten it down so smoothly. They just get people in, get out, and like going digital has really helped a lot with that. But in this situation, there's just like what I described as a psychotic amount of people trying to get into this convention all weekend long. That alone tells you just like how good the convention is. By the way, record attendance numbers. Congrats to everyone. 12,000. Absolutely awesome. Congratulations all around. But yeah, it was chaos this year. But it's chaos that was controlled by a staff who knows exactly what they're doing and how to handle things And for as many of the things behind scenes that I knew was going wrong, I didn't see it on the floor. I didn't hear about it from other attendees. I didn't see it affect anything. And that speaks volumes of how good of a convention Metrocon is and how good the people working Metrocon are. They are the best I have seen at handling a convention this size. That goes from the registration department, that goes from like the liaisons, that goes to the security team, who always do an amazing job, and everyone behind the scenes, everyone who is pulling the strings of this convention. All of them are on point at all times, and it is just this, appropriately enough, it is for Metrocon, it is a well-oiled machine where every gear keeps on turning and the machine just keeps on going. So for anyone Metro staff out there who happen to be watching this, you did an amazing job, because I know enough of you to know you did an amazing job, because you would not be part of Metrocon if you weren't amazing at what you do. So thank you. Thank you for making it a great weekend for 12,000 people. That's absolutely incredible. So I can't get into everything here because I'm like super time crunched, but I just want to kind of go like, yeah, as usual, it's an incredible convention full of incredible people. And yeah, I might talk a little bit more about it later when I get to actually like unpack and start goofing around with all the stuff that I actually got in the dealer room. And there might be a few specific things here. Once I start going through footage, I might do something else that I haven't done before with my Metrocon footage. I have some fun things in mind I really want to do, some for the first time ever. So stay tuned. I'm gonna be flooding the channel. This isn't gonna be like past years where like I put up a few things, just like a few of my favorite things. No, I want to absolutely inundate my channel this year. That's what I want to do. So join me for that. Plenty of Metrocon stuff coming up, and join me tomorrow. We'll be going over all of the stuff that I recklessly purchased. I will see you then. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.